And we talked about one of the coolest design things was the airports these days.
Yeah.
And the airports are not an airport anymore. They are an experience as you go through.
Yeah.
And I never really thought about that. I just went, oh, this is really pretty. This is really neat. But I never thought that, yeah, you're correct. As an experience piece, it could have been a rectangle walls that you just walk forever, and it could have been dull and boring and monotonous.
Yeah. And stressful. I mean, part of the things that we say, and I should explain what SEGD stands for because people don't really get it, the acronym, but it's that we're a nonprofit member organization of the Society of Experiential Graphic Design. So what does that mean? So anything where you're designing in the physical space that connects people to place. So oftentimes that's communication design, be it signage, wayfinding, exhibition. But as you see everywhere now, whether it's transportation, whether it's healthcare, people want a memorable experience. And if you're a good client, you will realize that memorable does not mean they got lost, they got stressed out, they got mad. they couldn't they couldn't find their way, they couldn't find, the parental restroom, they couldn't, figure out how to get to their gate. And so if you've been to, say, the Salt Lake City airport or Portland, Oregon, or Kansas City or LaGuardia, what you're seeing is that they're transforming the experience for that end user through the signage and wayfinding and digital experiences, so that it may be that you're directing a person, but you're also kind of creating a brand. Like in Portland, Oregon, you arrive and they want you to feel like you're in the forest because everybody thinks of, like, the beautiful forest. And so that design, that experiential environmental graphics, like wayfinding and signage system, is completely integrated into the architecture, and it's beautiful, it's award winning. And that's what we're realizing now, that when we say the word like sign or signage, we kind of have to move away from that, and clients need to think about whatever it is that I represent, whether it's retail, whether it's a cultural institution or a stadium, that people are taking their time to be there and they want a great experience. And so whether you think it's your brand or not, it actually is. It's how people feel, it's the memories they create when they're in that space. We see people taking selfies, it's because they're having a great time. And so, places that are stressful or monotonous, like airports or train stations or hospital waiting rooms, you can really see when the clients are investing in design. And I think it pays off because the quality of care is better, the memories, people will go back to a particular airport because it's better and it's easier for them. They will avoid airports that are notoriously horrible, TSA lines, directions, all those kinds of amenities, all of that. So design makes a
I,
difference.
it makes a huge difference. It's funny because everything that you just said, I knew a little bit here and there, but to hear it encompass and put it all in a nice, pretty package and a bow, there's so much that goes into the design. There's so much of that experience that feels like, and you're right. Everything what you just said is so accurate. I go to certain airports because it's easy for me. And I don't go to the other ones. I choose particular paths because it's easier. And as you're talking about that, I'm thinking about it in my own head. It's exactly right. The
Yeah.
design, the elements, how easy it is for me to move around, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. I mean, and if you even think of, like, anywhere that's a destination, whether it's like a national park, or you're headed, like you're traveling and you're headed to a downtown, like, when do you get those indications of, like, that I've arrived? And when do you have that sense of arrival? So,
Mhm.
sometimes we just think of it as street signs, but they can actually really brand that community and give a sense of place, so that it's like, I think we're realizing that it's not a one-stop shop. It used to be that signage and environmental graphics or design could be like, I could be in Houston, or I could be in Tacoma, or I could be in New York City. But now we're realizing that the importance of place has to be integrated into that system. And the materials, the texture, the quality, that's what gives people that sense of arrival. And we can't overlook it. Like, if it's an end of the project budget, it's going to actually cost you more, because it has to be, you have to integrate and think about this narrative, think about the visitor journey at the forefront when the architects are there, the developers there, the clients there, trying to lay out what that schedule and budget is going to be. And if it's not, it looks like an afterthought.